there is a, cool.
Yeah, just for the students.
Yeah, no problem. So in drivers, there is a vehicle interface, which is the core set of C++ classes that you will inherit from in all of the vehicle interfaces. So vehicle interface contains a drive-by-wire state machine to keep track of the commands that are being sent from the user, as well as the state of the drive-by-wire system and whether it's engaged in autonomous mode or has a manual override, etc. The platform interface is where everything actually gets implemented to receive messages from Autoware on the things like send state command or send control command. And then you implement the overrides to these functions to actually convert them into messages that the drive-by-wire system driver can understand. Then there's a safety state machine, which does things like bounds checking and applies acceleration and deceleration limits and steering rate limits and a virtual shifting control, all that sort of stuff. And then vehicle interface node is really just the ROS wrapper around the vehicle interface code. So you use these classes from vehicle interface to implement vehicle interfaces, such as the NE Raptor interface, which is for New Eagle Raptor drive-by-wire systems, and the SSC interface, which is for the autonomous stuff, SSC, speed and steering control, or the LGSVL interface, which is the simulator interface to talk with vehicles in the simulator.
So Joshua, sorry. So this is exactly where we, Steve and you will need to look into to get that connector working, right?
Yes, correct. So we will create another package in here that would be called something like Dataspeed interface.
Yeah, Dataspeed interface.
Yep. And then just like the New Eagle Raptor interface, if you look at the package XML file, it tells you what it depends on. The New Eagle Raptor interface depends on the Raptor drive-by-wire messages, so that it can send the messages that are understood by that interface. And similarly, we will have to depend on the Dataspeed drive-by-wire messages, which I think are defined on their bit bucket account.
Yep, and they have their own repo, and I think they were brought into the first version of Autoware as well. Yep.
Yeah. So and now you can see that their main branch is now Foxy, so they have a supported ROS2 interface here. So the Dataspeed DBW messages are going to be the messages that we're translating to, and then the reports will also be the messages we're translating from.
Steve, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we were approached by Dataspeed a while ago, saying that our maintenance plan need to be renewed. I mean, does this require that, or we don't?
We don't. They added some extra support, at least to their firmware. So we didn't need that because there wasn't any safety critical updates that were needed. There were some minor changes that they had made, but they obviously weren't necessary for us to keep running the hardware.
Yeah. Okay. And I doubt they keep their APIs very stable.
They're pretty clean. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that this is probably going to be compatible with it, even without those updates.
Yeah, exactly. We actually had to make changes to this to get it to work for one. So
okay, that's not surprising. Yeah. So the idea then is in the interface that we would implement, we would create a New Eagle or a Dataspeed interface header file, and that header file includes all of the messages from the target drive-by-wire system, as well as all of the Autoware.auto messages that are related to the things you want to control and the reports you want to get back. And then for you create a Dataspeed interface class, which inherits from the vehicle interface platform interface. And then it overrides the update function, the send state command function, and a couple of different methods of the send control command, depending on which type of control message you're using. But honestly, we really only need to support one of these, so it's not a big deal. And then the handle mode change request function. And this one specifically is for a service that's available on the ROS node that allows you to change from autonomy mode to operator mode to joystick mode and choose between the three. And then there's a couple other for specific vehicle functions like headlights and horn and wipers and stuff. But that's the majority of what we need to implement is these callback functions that receive the commands from Autoware and then translate them into Dataspeed messages and then publish them on the bus. And then also the opposite, we need to subscribe to all of the reports from the Dataspeed system as Dataspeed messages, and then translate those into Autoware reports and then publish them on the ROS bus.
Yep, makes sense. Have you had experience with one at all? Because this looks similar to what they did.
Yeah, it
not
is
as clean.
similar, but
Yeah.
there's they kind of required that the drive-by-wire system manufacturers had a specific format for the messages already, and Autoware.auto does not require that at all. You can use whatever format you want on your drive-by-wire system, and then you write this
the
to make sure
interface.
that it's
Yep.
compatible in both directions.
Great. I think using that as a basis will be very helpful.
Cool. There's actually the new Eagle Raptor interface. You'll find a lot of things that kind of just use your judgment, but there's a lot of things in here that the Dataspeed interface does not implement. For example, like a rolling counter to make sure that every message is sequentially incremented. New Eagle has multiple ways that you can control the vehicle, like a closed loop feedback mechanism, an open loop, and a high level, speed and desired heading only. And I think in the case of Dataspeed, it's just the low level commands of like, where do you want the pedal to be? Where do you want the steering wheel to be?
I think that was one of the things that they implemented in the new firmware. Yeah, they tried to get to that. So, yep, cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of what value did you send me? Well, that means this value in Autoware language. And
Sure.
What value did Autoware send me? That means this value in the other language.
Great. Is there a test application that you use to test this? I think when we received our Dataspeed, they gave us a ROS1 joystick app that I think just used that interface and translated the joystick movements to steering wheel control. And
So there's an example of that. It's not in drivers, it's in tools actually. In tools, there is a joystick vehicle interface node. And what joystick vehicle interface node does is essentially just translates joystick commands from the ROS Joy driver into Autoware commands.
Yep, that's what we're using. Yep, perfect.
Yep. And then you'll use the vehicle interface on the other side to go back from Autoware to the drive-by-wire system.
Great. I was just thinking for easy testing that may be helpful.
That's it.
Thank you. Like I said, I just even that quick run through was great. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and feel free to message me on Slack if you've got any other questions. It's been 3 months now since that, maybe 4 months, 5 months since since I'm no longer with the Autoware Foundation, but I still have a pretty good grasp on most of what they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has built so many of the building blocks. So I think it's I'm super happy that he's here and he's coming to meet us. And just getting us literally off the ground like that. I think that's important, and I think there are many people who will learn from that. And I think to me that's already the direct reward of this. But I think so maybe Steve, we can you can take a look at that, and then we can just follow up on Slack. I'll send you all an invite to our chat on the Autoware Slack, and then we can just have like a very focused group on just the bus interface. I mean this bus shuttle bus project like that, right? So. And the idea is that we have now from 17th to 7 to 17, so 9 days to basically get this as far as we can get it, right? So, yeah, because then we can literally hit the ground running. But there are quite a few functions to be mapped over here, and then we'll also have to test them to make sure, because I don't want to. This is really at the ground level, right? CAN to computer is really key.
Do you guys have helmets and neck braces for everyone that's going to be in the car?
And health insurance.
I'm really, really good at hitting the brake pedal.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, and especially with the Dataspeed demo application, they improperly mapped the trigger for the brake, so it's like 50% is 100%.
Is 100%. Yeah, I remember what they gave us as a demo, and they're just be light with this one. I was like, oh,
yes.
all right.
Yeah. That. Anyway, so I guess the other questions are related to logistics. So what is the plan right now for when the vehicle will be delivered to UPenn?
So it'll only come for those 2 to 3 days, and then they'll drive back with it this time. And then the idea is that the next time, we'll have to figure out long term how to have the vehicle here for a longer time. But
Okay.
that I'll discuss with Professor Chen Ming. But I think for now the idea is I've identified one place that we can work indoors. The
Okay.
problem is that room is it's pretty tight because the car is very long, and I mean it fits a Tesla, but like I think this car is 16 feet, and I think the room is only like 17.3 feet or something like that. So it'll be very tight. But that's what I have so far, right? I mean it's I don't know about the pen parking people. The problem is there's too many logistics once you go in the. I hate that administrative stuff.
We're nodding
Especially
our
with the
head 'cause we
university,
understand.
it's a pain. So I think maybe Steve and Fo, you can also explain when you plan to drive down and.
Yep. So I think the current thinking is drive down that Thursday, get there before 10 midnight, something like that, late, and then start work fresh on Friday.
Okay.
We could probably meet you late, but I don't want to call you guys. It's probably easier just to say we'll meet at the Pennovation Center at 8 or 9 or whenever you'd like to start, and then we'll have Friday and Saturday, and then I think Sunday is kind of in the air. We probably have a little time. We obviously have to check out but then we probably should be heading back. So.
Okay, so Rahul, is the plan to have the course on Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, two full days, and then
Okay.
I guess maybe a little bit the Sunday morning, right? So I don't know if for Steve comfortable driving back in late morning or right after lunch. You can still get back, I think around 6, 7. But here's one thing, Steve. I think you may not want to park the Lincoln in a hotel that Thursday evening. So
I see what you mean. The night of. Yeah, we
call
may
the hotel, see if they have an indoor,
they
parking.
don't. At least the hotel that we looked at
Locked.
didn't. But
Okay.
I think
in that
the first
case,
one did.
in that case, maybe if it's possible, Rahul and students can arrange to have the car parked, at in that locked room. But then you guys can, of course, take a cab, whatever, back to the hotel, right?
Yep, that's a great idea.
So the reason you don't want the car can should not be parked in the hotel parking lot? Or?
Well, we don't want to park it in the outdoor. Who knows? Somebody, feels adventurous and then start to play with the LiDAR and.
So I don't know about Pennsylvania so much, but especially in Silicon Valley, people are starting to know what these sensors look like and what an autonomous demonstration vehicle looks like, and they will steal them.
Yeah.
You can't miss this one. It says autonomous vehicle and the puck's right on the top. You can't miss it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why we don't want to have it parked. Yeah.
I think so Josh, it was mostly to just have time for them to travel.
Yeah.
So that's why the Sunday is the travel date, because I think Steve, you work full time also, right?
Correct. Yeah. So my boss would appreciate if I didn't have to take a lot of time off.
Yeah.
So I guess my question then is about, is it possible for us to have some remote time between myself and someone at UB
Definitely.
for getting the vehicle verified that we can at least drive it by remote control?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I still basically work full-time contracting, so if we could set up some time ahead of time, like block it off for me, that would be much appreciated.
Yep. And I think that's, I would also like to do that. So.
Okay, cool. So I think as far as the vehicle interface goes, whenever you get started on it, feel free to message me on Slack if you have any questions. If you want to schedule some time to go over it via Zoom, let me know. And then once we have the vehicle interface to a point where we think it's working, then we can set up a block of like 2 or 3 hours or something just to test it on the car.
Perfect. That sounds good.
Yeah, good. Okay, so Steve, you can just take a look at the driver, and then we can also just schedule some time with Josh. Then we can start to work on the actual, update.
Yep, that sounds great. And Josh, if you could just your contact info would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll
put it-
share that, and I think we can all just connect on Slack. Then.
Or Slack. Yep, that's great.
Yeah. Email is quite slow. I'll just set up Slack. I'll invite everyone that's in this call onto the Slack channel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rahul, I saw your message, and maybe we can talk offline. Absolutely.
Yeah, we can see to keep the car in for
there was one other thing I forgot to ask about. Sorry. So we're not planning on using radar during this demonstration, which is good because Autoware.auto doesn't support it yet. As far as LiDAR, they're just the ones that you guys have are Velodynes. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have the Velodyne 32C.
Okay, perfect. And then for the drive-by-wire system, it's Dataspeed. Do you guys have, so you've got access to the ultrasonics through Dataspeed? Are there any other sensors?
The ultrasonics were poorly covered up by autonomous stuff's rails, so they're non-functional, which is terrible.
I understand.
What a waste.
There's pros and cons to that, but I get you. And then the GNSS, is it a Novatel? And if so, which version?
Power Pack 6.
Floyd, do you still have that Lincoln MKZ specs that you can just share in the chat session? Looks like Joshua.
I'll look for the link. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a presentation. I got a presentation that was given to you by Autonomous Stuff, but that one didn't have like model numbers or anything in it, so it was only so useful.
Yeah, I think Fode has the list. I think we just recently sent it around, so we can send it to you in Slack. Definitely.
Yeah, I think the box for the whole box folder, I think I tried to share that with Josh, but it's restricted access. So I think if you could just share that with Josh.
Perfect. And if you have any other questions, obviously in there, just ask. We know pretty much everything about it. So
cool.
Cool. All right. This was good. I think this was really useful to
very
productive. You don't want to just show up and driving through the snow in Philly and then be like, okay, what do we do now? So,
and are you guys making the list that I sent you, Rahul, for items that I want to cover in the course? Are there like modifications to that? Does that make sense? Does it sound good?
I think that looks good for now. I'll just go over it tomorrow, and then I'll just suggest. And I guess you also know now. Okay, this is what's there, and then what we focus on.
Yeah, I think so far it kind of aligns with what I was expecting.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's great. So here's the link before we end the call. So everyone should have access. I think that. Oh, so it says part of University of Buffalo. Okay, and if we have problems with accessing Box, we can take it on Slack then.
Oh, you cannot access it? Okay.
Yeah, it has some restricted.
Yeah, sorry, that's restricted. We can definitely just share the PowerPoint on Slack, and I think we have a one page that goes through the hardware.
Okay.
I created a Box account a while ago, but I don't remember my password.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just put it on Slack for you. So it's
okay. I'll share that right now. Then. Okay, guys, thanks a lot.
Cool.
Then
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raul,
guys.
for organizing this. Nice meeting you, everyone. Joshua,
Nice
thank
meeting
you
you.
so much.
And Dr. Chow, did you want to get together one more time, at least all of us, before we come? Obviously, we'll be talking with Josh sooner, but I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we probably should, Raul, right? Just before the next Thursday, we probably should have
we can
another-
sync exactly on the next Monday, same time. If that
Yep.
works for you.
next Monday. Okay.
14th.
Okay. Yeah. How's the next Monday evening sound, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's should be good for me. So
Works for
Good
me.
for me as well.
Very
Okay,
good.
I'll send an invite.
Great.
Okay, guys. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. Bye.
Thank you.
guys.
Good evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
bye, everyone. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Nice to meet you all.